first two levels. I think we're going to start to see some eliminations sooner than expected. Julian Thomas is in the orange. Found that he was a very good short stack player. Not sure how his deep stack game is. Probably pretty good too. Montenegro sitting down as well. And who else is that? Is that Paul Foy? Paul Foy, Richard Young, yesterday's 6-max champion, beat Steve O'Dwyer for 388,000 USD. Should be a fun one. I've seen some new players just kind of walking around. We should see Patrick Antonius joining at some point. I think Bryn Kenny is going to join as well. Tom Dwan should be here. Might be. Seems to like to late register though.
Yeah, Tom Dwan is a late reg kind of guy.
All right, over to Loser. He folds. No, he's not. He didn't fold yet. Richard Young, pocket sixes. He's going to make the raise. And a new player you haven't seen is Schillhaber. Ace Queen offsuit in the small blind. Actually, I wonder if Richard Young, I think he min raised. And Schillhaber is going to make it 13,500 right now.
13,500.
Alright, excuse me guys, can we put all our cell phones in that table? Really sorry, it's not allowed to use it here.
So no cell phones are allowed on this table. People won't know the hands.
Cell phone table? Yes, sir.
Take those cell phones.
Thank you.
Richard Young is the table chip leader. He won yesterday's event, beating Steve O'Dwyer in the 6-max 250,000 Hong Kong dollar buy-in. Montenegro is the table short stack. We still got 115 big blinds. Some of these names are tough to say, so we'll try our best. But let's just make sure we give you some high-level commentary. The important part of it. Paul Foy. First one to go. He's getting a massage. He's playing handicap. He's got one hand to play.
35.
Gonna make it 3,500. Montenegro.
Call.
He makes a call pocket fours. Schillhaber. Ace-10 of diamonds comes along as well. Gonna have a multi-way pot unless one of these two guys pick up a hand. Stephen Chidwick. He's gonna call. And Julian Thomas is gonna call. We're gonna have a 5-way flop. Unless Julian Thomas wants to make it like 25K right now. I don't think so.
Call.
Nobody steal.
5-way flop. Julian Thomas actually has the highest equity in the hand, and he outflops everyone. Queen 9. Actually, no one has a piece.
Check.
If Thomas had led the flop, actually would have just took this pot right down right now, but actually Lozier's the one betting. He's got pocket fours, 2 overs. He sees a bunch of checks in front of him, so I think he thinks no one has anything, but Julian Thomas with Queen 9 is going to make the call. Top pair, queen kicker, backdoor flush draw. No reason to do anything but call. So there's 7,000. Paul Foy is going to fold his ace king high, I assume. He's got to play one-handed. to maybe put up a little bit less because he's got less chips than Paul, which is pretty funny.
Call.
100萬500
Rice. 5,600.
媽的，那 last longer 哦，等下就換位了。
So Rui Cal, a regular in these high stakes games.
Oh, this is my ball.
Don't know if you heard, Paul Fua and Rui Cal made a last longer bet. 300,000 Hong Kong. That's a big last longer bet.
It's a big one. Both of those players very aggressive, likely to build up big stacks or bust pretty soon. I'm not sure if I would take either of them in a last longer, but maybe a bet to win the tournament.
Wow, this is such a good deal. You can cancel it.
So this is an unlimited re-entry event. More and more new faces will be showing up. I've seen Patrick Antonius walking around, so we should see him. Tom Dwan, he'll show up. When? I'm not sure. Phil Ivy's already in this tournament. You guys saw him play earlier.
Right.
This is our current feature table. Julian Thomas opening it up. I believe we also saw Bryn Kenny walking around, might be entering shortly.
Heads up.
And these guys are not showing their cards. Fix that soon for you guys.
Check.
So over to Julian Thomas. Where's it on? Maybe it's on Monig. No, it's on Thomas. Going to continuation bet. 6,000.
6,000. Call. Check.
So went bet, check, call. On to Thomas again.
Check.
2啊，幾多 pitch 啊？
There was a 4. I think Monig Lozier is more likely to hit the 6. So if he's got a hand like 10-9, Jack 10, Jack 9, I would bet this river. Seems very credible. They can have a hand like 8-6, 6-7, 5-6.
Bet 11,000.
It does bet 11,000, about half the pot.
Is he bluffing or does he have it, Randy?
I think he's got it. But Thomas
not so sure.
Thomas might have a hand like Queen Jack, Queen 10, King Queen. So I think he's going to make the call. Find out soon.
Call. Sure then.
So Monig looks like he's got the best hand because Thomas just mucked his hand. Hopefully we get a view of those cards.
Randy, your reads are on today. I'll take over in the booth. You go enter the tournament.
Yeah, seems. I just gonna make a last longer bet with Paul Fua and just trying to win my tournament by him back. Now we don't know what the cards were. I'm sorry, guys. We'll try our best. We are on a 30-minute delay right now. The people at the feature table cannot have their phone with them, so they don't know what the hole cards are. Don't worry about the graphics, they'll be fixed. Probably this hand.
Does Rui Cal play much no limit hold'em?
He definitely knows how to play no limit hold'em. He's played a good amount. Of course he plays PLO. He probably plays short deck
Before he
as well.
played PLO, he played No Limit?
He played No Limit. Everyone played No Limit before PLO. Literally everyone.
Oh, don't know how to play long deck.
Long deck is, when they're saying long deck, they're referring to regular No Limit Hold'em. 52 cards versus short decks, 36 cards.
Raise. 3,500.
Paw raises and
Call.
Rui Cow calls with pocket deuces. Richard Young sharing Paw Faw's cards.
中战就有开。
没开呢。
哦，
Heads up.
他弄7点半晚餐那个吗？
Coin flip. Paw Faw pairs his 8. Rui Cow has a pair of 2s with a 2 high flush draw.
Check.
Yeah, I like this bet from Rui Cow. I think he's just going to win. Well, it's a very small bet. Kind of wish he bet like 3K at least. It's not going to shake any hands.
Call.
Just taking control of the pot. Going to often see a free turn. I think this should go check a lot. But actually, Rui Cow's going to bet 10K.
Wow.
But he's a very aggressive player. I'm happy to see him at our table. Paul Fwa here, actually in a really tough spot, Queen 8. He could easily be drawing dead right now. But he makes the call.
He's played with Rui before.
Rui is a 5. Doesn't change too much.
It'd be tough for Rui to bluff this river.
Give me the money.
Very nice hand by Paul Fwa, and he's moving up. He's one of the chip leaders in this tournament. Might be the chip leader.
Got a new dealer coming.
Thank you.
Currently playing with about 24 entries roughly. We're on social media at Triton Poker. Hashtag Triton SHR. So chip counts for the table you're watching right now. The starting stack was 250,000. Stefan Schillauber is the short stack. He lost half his stack with that Queen Jack play. Lines are 800, 1600. This is level 3. And we will play 7 levels today. Hua Fua and Richard Young, 2 Malaysian organizers at the top of this table.
Oh, I think it should be in the pot.
You're actually right, yeah. That's 100 missing, sorry. I just thought it was one too much.
Yeah, this card.
4,000.
Stephen Chidwick raising up the Jack Queen of Diamonds here.
It's 8? Not 8.
Chidwick, probably the most clocked in poker player I've ever seen at a poker table live. Just always paying attention to every hand. Never has headphones in, never has his phone out. I mean, the fact that he had to give his phone away, he's like, so what?
And maybe it's a disadvantage for him if you have to take away the phones because everyone else has to pay attention now.
Exactly.
3-4-3. We saw this flop earlier with Dominic Nish.
No, well done.
Chidwick, the pre-flop raiser, from under the gun.
Maybe iron it.
We saw Dominic bet this flop. I think Chidwick's going to do a very similar bet as well. Like to see him bet, but he does check. Turns a flush draw. Schillauber here. Jack 9 high. I think he just needs to check. Too often he gets called by ace high on turn. What would be the point of betting?
Yeah, I agree. I would check this hand. A little surprised to see Chidwick having checked back the flop.
Roman not playing this one.
Love to see Chidwick bet the turn now.
I think you're going to see that out of Chidwick here.
He can get some better hands to fold, like King Queen. There's not too many better hands, I suppose. But yeah, she checks.
Wow.
Huh? 20.
River's a flush
Dead.
on a double paired board. What This hand's nothing's going to happen in his hand unless Showlobber bets like 25K all of a sudden. I don't think he will. I mean, if Showlobber bets, he needs to bet big and try to move his opponent off of ace high. He's a very aggressive player, so it wouldn't be super out of character if he fires. Just check. Chidwick, I would just need to, he needs to bet this river. He's going to get called, looked up by ace high, decent amount. Even a hand like 5-6. So he's going to fire about half the pot. 6,000. So actually, Showlobber there got to see a free turn in river. It's a good spot when you're expecting to just check fold the flop.
So how many of these players have you played against online, Randy?
Well, I don't know all of their screen names.
Big guy?
No, actually, I don't know any of their screen names but Stevie's.
You never played against Rui back in the day, huh?
I mean, I played a little bit, but I think he transitioned into PLO. Yeah, I played a little bit of No Limit, but he didn't really play there too much.
$13 million hands, and you're telling me you've only played against one player at this table? I do not believe it, Nano Noko.
Well, I'm not really looking to put in $1 million Hong Kong buy-in to play with Richard Young and Paul Fwa. All right, so the graphic is a little bit wrong right now. Did Rui Cow just raise Jack 5 offsuit in the hijack? If so, that is aggressive. So I think Rui's going to bet this flop. I don't think Chidwick's going to... He'll check fold here sometimes. I think he actually check raises a reasonable amount on this board if he thinks his opponent's c-betting too much, but
I was folding.
looks like he just check folds.
Yeah. I think probably wrong, like a kid.
Okay.
Show him Jack 5.
Good read.
That's a risk.
I was folding. That's it.
You see Rui Cow to 171 big blinds. 23,000 chips over a starting stack. Rui considered one of the tougher short deck players now. For many years, he's been one of the toughest heads-up pot limit Omaha players. Rui really, really does well with fewer players at the table. Been a fantastic heads-up player for a long time. Loescher finds pocket threes.
Not even 20.
Raises up the hijack.
You know, on up.
Little bit of a loose raise here with threes.
We never bought diamonds for you.
Well, you weren't a fan of his 7-3 offsuit, so you got to like this one, right?
Oh yeah, this looks great compared to 7-3 off.
Yeah. No, yeah, sometimes.
Thomas defends the big.
Now, pretty standard continuation bet here. It's actually quite small. I don't think Thomas is going to fold King Jack high. It's a best hand in a reasonable amount of time. As well, if in case you're wrong, you know, you can turn some spades, maybe some straight draws.
Is it raining today, or did Thomas tune into the weather in Germany instead of the weather in Montenegro?
It doesn't look as nice outside today than yesterday, I'll tell you that.
Well, rain jacket or not, Thomas makes the call and turns a pair of jacks.
Like to see Loescher check back to turn.
Fish. Small fish.
River is a full house for Thomas. Just has to bet here. You know, you got to try to get value out of a 10. You know, some pocket pairs.
Oh, where's Romain?
I don't really like this check. I think it just goes check, check too often. Lozier's going to take the free showdown. It's up against ace high a lot. So I think Lozier actually thought he had the best hand alive. He's getting ready to turn his cards. I'd love to see a bet there of king jack. Because what's the point of checking? Like, your opponent is going to check back a 10 a reasonable amount. It's not going to have a jack that often. I don't know. Like, someone who's trying to represent a jack on the river would probably just try to represent it on the turn, right? So I guess he wasn't going to win many chips anyways, but I still would have liked a bet.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's possible, since these two players have history, that he knows something that we don't about Lozier. But I would have bet the king jack as well.
The advantage, a good reason to check the river is that you want your opponent to know that you can show up with strong hands when you check. So kind of maybe play into future pots.
4,000.
But I don't think that's going to outweigh value betting it myself.
Rui, you're under the gun. Jack 7 suited. That's a pretty loose open there.
Well, I'm happy to see Rui Cao on this table. I know he's going to just make some pots happen. He might win the tournament right now, or he might just bust first. Shillauber folds. Chidwick, ace-queen on the button. He probably doesn't know Rui Cao is opening that wide right now, but he's still going to raise.
18.
Yeah, I like this 3-bet here by Chidwick.
So Rui Cao's out. Richard Yang in the middle, queen 10 of diamonds. Not really an ideal spot for him. He might come along just because it's deep stacks. So that's what he's going to do. Richard Yang won yesterday's event. 250,000 Hong Kong buy-in. And just both flop nothing. We'll like to see Chidwick bet this flop.
Yeah, I like a small bet size here, maybe around 17, 15,000.
It's going to bet even smaller, 10,500.
That's really small.
Yep. It's going to work. Nice pot. Generally speaking, no one usually has anything on 4-4-6. You're not ever getting a better hand to fold by betting 10,000, but you get all the free equity hands to fold.
TV cash game. Euro. 哇！
好多人想打
啊？
好多人想打，
谁想打？
好多人想打吗？老外啊，ST。
因为我们中国人先嘛，中国人因为是中国，中国人要多一点嘛。呀。
对。
Yang raising up the 6-8 of spades. Rui Cao in the big blind. King 4 defends.
Both players flopping nothing. Whoever bets first going to win this pot.
I have a feeling that's going to be Yang. As you mentioned, Yang is the winner of event number 2 here. That was the first no-limit hold'em event of this 4-event series. This is the second one. There are 2 short deck events and 2, as they call them, long deck events.
Richard Yang defeating Steve O'Dwyer yesterday. Phil Ivey defeated Jungle Man in the short deck event.
刚刚好啊！如果你打到 final table， 你大后天还可以报名打短牌嘛，没有 miss。
And Randy, I believe that no players cashed in both events. Young opening up queen 9 suited under the gun. Pretty aggressive open here.
Thank you.
And king 4 off in the big blinds. Gonna give another crack at a 2-pair for Young.
Quick 4,000 chip bet. King 4 offsuit. I think I just let this go,
Yeah, I would fold.
but he's calling. Hoping for a jack.
There it is.
Check, check.
Just what the doctor ordered for Lozier on the turn.
There's a 3. Should be value betting here. If your opponent checks back the turn, they usually don't have a straight, so they're not looking to bet without at least a straight. So I like to see him bet a small bet here. Actually, oh my gosh, he's betting double pot here on the river. 35,000. I'm not real. I guess he's just trying to move his opponent off of a chop sometimes. There's no other reason to bet so big, right? Like, what is the point? So he's clearly not trying to get called by 2 pairs, is he?
Maybe if he has a specific read on Young.
I think Yong's just going to side fold. Oh no, he's going to call. Nice.
Wow. What an amazing bet by Lozier there, getting maximum value on the river.
Richard Yong there gets read into the bet sizing incorrectly, and Lozier just out-leveled his opponent and he got pretty much the maximum value you can get out of 2 pair.
Yeah, very, very good exploitative play by Lozier, and you were telling me the other day, Lozier's results are just fantastic, and this could be part of the reason why, taking some very interesting bet sizing, certainly entering the pot with some interesting hands.
This is an unlimited re-entry event. This can get expensive for some players. Blinds are 800, 1600. Over to Lozier and a small blind. King Queen, the chop got the same hand. Probably gonna see a flop. Richard Young and 8. Oh, actually, kind of surprised he folded the big blind. Maybe still wondering why he paid off that last hand. Both players flop top pair. I just don't think any of these players are going to fold. Check, check. Interesting check back by King Queen. Trying to induce some bets from Monig. But Monig actually has the same exact hand. He's gonna fire half the pot. Gonna get a call from Stefan. River's a jack. Nothing to be afraid of. Monig's gonna bet again here. He's a man of many bet sizes. I always think the ideal standard size was about 15,000. He might go bigger. Oh, he actually checks, so he's just trying to pick up a bet from a missed flush draw. Whatever Schillauber bets, Monig's just going to call. Even if he bets like 40K, I still think he calls with King Queen.
For sure.
15,000. Kind of bet size I expected. But it's not going to fold King Queen. Your hand is just too good here. No, don't do it. Nope, look at those cards and you got top pair. Let me help you, Monig. Pick up 3 yellow chips and throw them in. Oh, yep. All right, makes the call, and they're gonna chop it up.
think he heard you, Randy.
I'll tell you though, this shot clock tournament, every action to get 30 seconds. People are going to make mistakes. And they're not going to want to use their time bank chip. So I think if Montenegro had in theory, if he had 5 minutes to think about the hand, he would never fold. But if you give him 30 seconds, he might accidentally make the wrong play.
Yeah, I believe they get 3 time bank chips until the final table, and then they get 3 new ones. A lot of tournaments will give you additional time bank chips on day 2, not this one.
This one, I believe the final table you'll have 3. I don't know if it means you get 3 additional or you just get 3 total.
I think you get 3 total and your old ones are wiped out.
Yeah, so I would just use my time bank chips for fun on the bubble. I've only used 1 time bank chip in my life so far in live shot clock tournaments. King, queen sharing again. Paul is going to call here.
Well, he lets it go.
Wow. A little bit tight.
I don't mind that fold. Stephen Chidwick has been pretty solid, certainly when we saw him playing yesterday at the unofficial final table. He was playing very solidly. Now Lozier on the button, ace-king. This is the situation you want to be in. You have an aggressive image. You have Stephen Chidwick raising in early position. Just 2 players with very similar stacks.
Did he call? No, he's still deciding. Tough spot, King Queen. You're out of position. You raise from under the gun.
I think we'll see Chidwick throw this one away.
Yeah, nice fold. I think he thinks he's being 3-bet bluffed sometimes, but when you're out of position, sometimes it's okay to let your opponent bluff you occasionally. Look for a better situation.
After winning that pot, Lozier back up to a starting stack. Those time bank chips are a little confusing. They look a whole lot like the red chips.
Yeah, I've played in places where the time bank chips literally look like a clock, so you can't ever mistake what they are.
Here's ace-king for Paul Foy. He's going with a little bit of a smaller size here, 3,500. Chidwick defends the big. Now he flops a gut shot. Foy with top pair.
I expect Chidwick to check call here. Most pros don't fold inside straight draws because of how often someone continuation bets, how often, well, sometimes you make the straight and your opponent has a set and you can stack them. So he is going to make the call here, queen jack. Doesn't realize his queen and jack, it won't be good if he hits it. Turn is a deuce. His hand should be over soon. Paul's going to bet the turn about 12,000, I guess. Got to keep betting for value. It's going bigger, actually. 15,000?
15,000.
He does go 15,000. I like a pretty large bet here.
Chidwick lays it down.
So if you're just tuning in, these players are playing the Triton Super High Roller Series main event. The buy-in was 1 million Hong Kong dollars, which comes out to about 125,000 US dollars. Last year, this event got 61 entries. We'll see what happens this year. Last year's champion of the Montenegro Triton Poker main event was John Juanda. Haven't seen Juanda around.
Haven't seen him here yet. Could also register tomorrow if he does show up. Jungle Man, the 2016 champion.
Rui Cow opens the pot here. Jack 10 of hearts. Good looking hand in no limit hold'em. Even better looking hand in short deck. The final tournament of this series will be a $1 million Hong Kong short deck tournament.
It's not going to shake Julian Thomas's big blind 9-7 offsuit, but Rui Cow's got a 68% chance to win this pot.
King 4 flush draw for Rui.
Rui's going to continuation bet 3,000. Doesn't need to bet too big on these dry boards.
Thanks.
Usually the first prize is 30% of the pool. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, probably.
30 million, 40 maybe. 30%. 12 million.
According to Paul Foy, the winner will get 30% of the prize pool in this structure. Can't really confirm that. So I have confirmed that you will get 3 time bank chips if you get to the final table. You can only hold 3, maximum.
Chidwick raising the button. Foy defending the big. Chidwick flops a flush draw here. Paul Foy's ace high though, looking pretty strong on this board.
So Paul's going to check call here with ace-8 high. It is currently the best hand. Turns an ace.
But Chidwick now with a gut shot.
He's got an inside straight draw and a flush draw. Still has 25% chance to win his pot. He can represent an ace, try to move someone off of a king, but Paul actually has an ace. I'm not too sure if he's going to bet this turn.
Oh, he's going to bet the turn. We might see him over bet the turn, Randy.
Well, let's see. He's actually just reaching for 20,000? 22,000.
And he does over bet the turn. This is a spot where
he's trying to put pressure on a king, queen, king, jack, king 10, king 9, king 8. Any king, actually.
Right.
Doesn't expect his opponent to have an ace that much.
And also, you can actually have the nuts. If Chidwick were to fire a very big bet on the river, you might be able to get an ace to fold.
We'll see if this even happens. I think he's got to call this turn.
Oh yeah, he's going to call the turn.
I think Chidwick's kind of like surprised he's calling a turn. Now he's realizing that Paul probably has an ace. Chidwick, river's a pair of 5s. It's got some showdown value. Occasionally he beats queen jack and jack 10 suited, but not too much more than that.
I think we're going to see a big bluff here from Chidwick.
I don't know. I don't think he should. I think he should check. So it's going to be a heroic bet. He needs to bet like 100K right now if he wants to win this pot.
He does check.
It's going to get shown the bad news. So today we're playing 7 1-hour levels. Currently on level 3 right now. And then tomorrow we will play down to the final table. And then the day after that will be the final table of this $1 million Hong Kong buy-in event. Crown a 2018 champion.
哇，蘇聯都真係報名，25個咗啦，24個 ，Steven 報咗。
40 maybe, including rebuy. I think 40.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Many latecomers.
Total maybe 40.
40啦，at least 啦。
Shillauber opens Jack 7 of clubs into hijack, slightly loose. He's going to get a call from Rui Cao, ace 4.
每个打 cash game 不打比赛 ，cash game 给他关掉。
是咯。以后我
呀，他不想打了，他们整班不想打比赛了。我讲你不想打比赛，no shit。
妈都不想。
他妈全部都打 cash game，谁打比赛？
說，我就是說，
其實 cash game 佢哋
Rui 2 pair on the turn.
呢個梗係問題就話我哋咁樣唔掂啊。Hello,
So Shillauber has an inside straight draw. I wouldn't fault him for 2 barrel length, trying to target like 10x and 8x type hands, and he's going to try and do that. It's not going to work. It's a pot size bet.
Yeah, he bets large. I like betting large here. There are just so many draws on this board.
And I think Rui Cao just called very quickly. I like the call. He knows his opponent's on a draw usually. That's a terrible card for Rui Cao on the river. Shillauber. The 8 is actually a great card. Your opponent usually doesn't have an 8 unless he has ace 8 or pocket 8s. If your opponent had a hand like ace 4, he's been counterfeited, he might not like his hand anymore. Does he want to try and represent ace king? Shillauber, this guy's he's got sick reads.
Yeah, I like this bet here by Shillauber. May have gone a little bit bigger just because so many draws missed.
I think it's fine. How much more does he really need to risk?
I mean,
it's 50,000. He's got 34K behind. He's going to fold. So nice fold for Shillauber there. He's going to chip up. Triple barreling to Jack 7 high.
Yeah, very nice hand there by Shillauber.
Patrick Antonius sitting down. Now everyone is happy. Keep always asking, where's Patrick? Where's Patrick? Where's Patrick? Well, here's Patrick.
He is back.
Rizal, is it? 现在打得好是江哥边的，你认为？
还是谁？
江哥边啊。
Patrick's been crushing tournaments lately. Hasn't been playing that many, and then all of a sudden he starts playing and just keeps winning tournaments or final table in them.
Patrick crushes everything. Tennis crusher, backgammon crusher, poker tournament crusher.
I thought the backgammon crusher was Gus Hansen, but maybe I'm wrong.
I know Hansen is very good. I thought Patrick played as well.
Wouldn't surprise me. I'll tell you this, Patrick probably has no idea how to play short deck, otherwise he would have showed up sooner.
那种牌我真的是哇，一直在那边想，用手指这样。
两个妹很勤力的，
很认真啊。
Richard Young, ace 10 clubs, gonna open this one up to about 4,000.
Right, 4,000. Call.
Shillauber of pocket 9s.
Very hot here.
Made a very nice bluff earlier. Thomas, pocket 4 is going to try and set mine as well.
Call.
How can I fold?
Antonius.
I cannot.
Queen Jack suited.
First hand in. Let's get dealt actually an undominated hand. He's got 30% chance to win his pot. He's got the best chance. And flops a flush draw, but Julian Thomas flops a straight draw with a pair. Shillauber, he's got pocket 9s and overpair, and Richard Young has a ace high straight draw. Everyone has a piece. Over to Shillauber.
Yeah, Shillauber here. I wonder if he's going to go ahead and lead on this board.
I would like to see him bet. He's got to clear out some opponents with. Someone's got ace high. Can't let him get a free draw.
Rico, you don't need this. Give me.
11,000.
I just don't know if pocket nines is strong enough to be betting here into this many players.
But you can't let. You don't want to let 3 guys get free cards either, right? Like, you're pretty much hoping you hit a 9 on a turn. I think that's fine. But Thomas is going to call up his straight draw. Antonius now, Queen Jack of Hearts. I think calling and check raising are viable options. The good thing about check raising, you're in the big blind, so you can represent hands like 4-6 very easily and ace-4.
Raise it up, Patrick.
Kind of wants to take it slow. He just got here, so he just falls.
没有啊 ，pre-flop 你这个人，
对，有些牌很明显，
他也打得很紧嘛。
不是明
会这样。
Oh, that's a turn that Patrick Antonius was looking for. He gets the check mark in his hand.
就是为了他们这样是为了，有的时候有接近的时候，想的时候不对对对对对。有特别大的牌的时候，或者你真的需要想的时候，
when you see a bet and a call from 2 players.
Oh yeah.
真的想还是装，就这个意思。
I mean, he could have the best hand easily, but he could also have the worst hand easily.
不用那么。
3 checks.
现在打的人不是傻的吗？
不是有的时候，比如
有关系，
有关系，我会有 timing tell， 有的时候我会有 timing tell， 因为我从来不想，然后突然想一想很久，那肯定是。 哎，这个人不是最大，或者不是什么都没有，肯定哎跟还是。
River is an 8. Antonius.
没关系啦，有的时候不用。
I think he just needs to bet. I wouldn't bet too big if I was Antonius. I would just try to get some crying calls from over pairs. I'd like to see him bet like 15,000 or so. I don't think he's going to bet 15,000, but I think a smaller bet would be effective. He's actually going to go pot size bet. I mean, he's going 45,000. I think too often his opponents just don't have a big hand. So this big bet, it's going to scare away a lot of players.
7点半吃饭对吗
？Party 吗？吃饭吗
？6点半。
公司请你们吃饭，我们不费。中国人在中餐给中餐。
待遇好。 Free buffet。
啊，你真係仲未揾到贊助商啊
？So over to Stefan. Pocket nines. Not sure if he's going to hold this hand. Thomas is going to let go of his pocket 4s.
哦，招招呼鬼佬最易嘅你呢度。你高佬又炒得好食就得㗎啦。
So Antonio wins the first pot. Sits down at.
哇，煎鱼太好吃了。
没有，
就一个监狱啊！
跟我们的比赛一样好，因为我们真的是在哪里都有比赛人家吃，人家不用想去哪里吃。
Montenegro closure is going to move to another table. Now there's more entries.
他妈你在 dinner 不要走去吃的哦，有些远的地方你 order 到又吃了要赶时间，啊。
不会萨是有吗？我不知道，我都不知道他们的有没有。
没有了，没有的吃的，没有的吃的，我们打那个。OK，good 了。啊，他们很喜欢我们比赛，就是不用去想，我们在哪里都有东西给人家吃的。
其实很，对。
因为他们吃又不选的嘛，你。不过三那些有跟你包房间的吗？酒店？没有，没有的。以前有，现在没有。哦，我们有包一间房间是吧？我们有。
Shill Hopper, Jack 10 offsuit. He's gonna fold.
Poker Star 很财迷的。
很什么
？Poker Star 很财迷的。
Price 35. 3 dice 10,000.
Rui Cal re-raising 5-4 diamonds.
Yeah, taking advantage of Paul Fla's pretty aggressive open here, but look, Yang behind him picks up pocket kings.
They're just laughing, picking on Rui Cal. Rui Cal might call here. Yeah, he does call.
Wow. Very loose call here by Rui Cal, but he is in position.
They are very deep, so he's just trying to like luck box the hand, I think. Unlimited re-entry. I mean, they are very deep, so it's not the end of the world, but
wow, King 6-8. If you're young, would you love to see him check this flop?
We'll love to see him check. I think he just smashes this one too hard. But he's going to bet.
But there's no break.
Oh,
No break.
level.
1 more hour.
1 more hour dinner.
Yeah.
But if you're
let's
Rui
see it right
Cal and you call the 4-bet here, you might
Or
call
half
this
an
flop.
hour.
Oh, you're going to call the flop
Yep.
here with a gut shot, backdoor flush draw.
As long as Young has like hands that he'll fold later streets, and it's an
stay in
okay
Germany?
call. But he's
Vienna.
drawing dead.
Vienna?
Turns
You're
is
German?
6. So now if you're young, we certainly want to be checking.
I would love to
Supposed to
check
stay
here.
there.
I think you just
Oh,
smash
no,
this board
because
too
I live
hard.
there with my girlfriend.
He's gonna bet again.
She's from Vienna.
30,000.
A small bet. I'm happy that if he does bet the turn, he bets smaller. Wow, he's
Wow,
gonna
Rui Cal calling again. Look, Yang playing this hand a lot better than we would have, Nano. Oh my gosh, a disaster river card for Rui Cal.
GG for Rui Cal in his last longer bet. I'm not really sure what to bet. He does bet all in.
All in.
KK.
He goes all in. Rui
KK.
calls. Rui gets the bad news. And Richard Yang
Doesn't
doubling up against Rui Cal. Rui Cal now down to his final 21,000 in chips.
Paul Flaw just laughing. Let me see
You
your
call
card.
2 street ah?
Yeah, I don't know who's more happy about that, Yang or Paul
Oh,
Flaw.
good play, Rin.
145, 145, 700. 145, 700.
He want to bluff you, Richard. That's why he called the turn.
You know,
Once he check, he boom.
Paul putting in the needle, and Yang could not have played that any better against Rui Cal. Oh, Rui has actually been eliminated. Paul Flaw wins the last longer.
Yeah, everyone. Paul Flaw is giving him such a hard time.
Good call, Rin. Turn.
Good call on the turn. Rui Cal is eliminated. He needs to put in another $1 million Hong Kong buy-in to get back into his event.
And now Richard Yang is one of the chip leaders of this tournament after having just won
He called the turn to bluff
the second event of this tournament. He's looking to go back-to-back no-limit hold'em winners, and he said he's been playing a lot of short deck lately, so it's very impressive for somebody who's primarily been playing short deck, the performance that he's been putting on in no-limit hold'em, both today and yesterday.
Yeah.
I know him, for sure he got shot something fuck like that. I know him very well.
Well, our table chip leader is Richard Yang, 220 big blind. Stefan Schillauber's got half of his starting stack right now after that crazy hand. That was some ambitious play from Rui Cal there. Maybe this is just some funny dynamic with Richard Yang and Paul Flaw, but I think he's a little bit annoyed, I think. I'm sure he'll jump back in pretty soon.
Race.
Raise 5,000.
Ray, you gonna buy in again, Ray?
Call.
I give you new odds. +2. How many players +2? Payout.
Call.
It's a loose call here by Antonius on the button.
Yeah, looks like Rui Cal is going to do another side bet with Paul Flaw. But yeah, so we got the flop here. Paul Flaw, the best hand, pocket sevens. I mean, with these deeper stacks, people tend to be seeing flops a bit more. So, like Queen 4 spades.
Bet 8,000. Fold. Fold.
And everyone's going to fold here.
Paul Flaw and Richard Yang competing for the chip lead at this table. These two players both putting on this Triton series. Both very accomplished poker players.
So again, we're playing 7 levels today. Lines are 1,000, 2,000. This is level 4 right now. Julian Thomas, 8-6 of hearts. He's going to let it go. Paul Foss is going to raise his ace-8 offsuit and hijack.
Raise 5,000. Fold. Call 5,000. Fold. Call. Triplers.
Got a three-way flop here. Richard Young with the highest chance to win pre-flop.
Check.
He's going to check around. No one's got a piece. Someone just needs to bet and they're going to win this pot. Chidwick actually in the big blind.
Check.
Checks.
Check.
I think he's going to check around again. River is an 8, so Paul Flaw makes the best hand. Does he want to take a stab here? Doesn't seem like it.
Check.
And Richard Young's going to bet. He's going to put a small bet out here. Actually, it would have worked if Paul didn't river a pair of 8s.
You have 5,000 jacks. Oh, pocket 9.
He's going to side call here.
Call.
Pocket 9?
Shutdown.
Bluff.
Oh, bluff. I mean, 1 9, not pocket 9.
Paul Flaw's going to chip up here to the table chip leader. It's good to see Richard Young at least trying to win some of these small pots. Would have worked better on a turn though.
Still up over 200 big blinds.
Doctor, you're going to play tournament, Doctor? We need some new blood.
温足係咪有
It's
打
Hong
嘅？
Kong dollar, don't think.
佢温足係咪有打嘅？
Yeah.
啱啱我係股東嚟喎，我記得。
Trying to convince some more players to join the tournament.
Well, 1 drop, we took a piece of it.
It's over to Schillauber of ace-10 of spades on the button. He's going to make a raise. 5,500.
5,500. Fold.
Julian Thomas in the big blind. Ace-queen suited. It's going to be a pretty standard re-raise here. What do you think he's going to make it to? Like 18,000?
I think maybe 18.5, 19,000. Sounds about right.
Well, certainly has the best hand here. Make it a little bit bigger, actually.
Right.
Rebuy every time.
22,000.
22,000.
Yeah, a little bit on the larger side. 4 times the size of his opponent's raise.
Well,
Schillauber is a little bit shorter than everyone else.
Yeah, they are still sitting with about 58 big blinds.
I don't think he's going to fold ace-10 suited, so he's going to make a call and play this dominated spot here.
Call. Heads up.
Both players flop an ace.
Wow, that's bad news for Schillauber.
Like to see Thomas continuation bet this flop. I'll third the pot be pretty efficient, 15,000. When you re-raise someone, you're trying to represent ace-king, and if you're bluffing, you would bet this flop. Might as well bet it when you got it too.
Not here.
15,000 exactly.
So Schillauber,
Payout, is it?
ace-10 suited.
Okay, plus 2.
He's gonna make the call.
Okay.
No reason to raise. If you're trying to catch a bluff, you don't want to move your opponent off of a bluff. So here's the call.
Call.
Needs to hit a 10 or he's in trouble. Turns to queen, so top 2 pair for Thomas. An interesting situation for Thomas. I probably didn't expect to hit 2 pair. Should he bet again or should he try and check and induce bets?
I think he's going to continue to bet here.
Well, if he's going to bet this turn, he's definitely going to shove the river. like to see him bet like 27,000 if he's going to bet. I would like to look. What I would do in this spot is. Oh, he's actually just shoves.
Wow.
I'm not convinced this is the best play. I know he's trying to represent. He's got like Miss Hearts. Makes the call.
Wow.
He's drawing dead.
Showhobble makes the call. He's drawing dead against Thomas, and that bet size works out for Thomas there.
Out leveled him.
Showhobble will be eliminated.
Going dead.
So, Randy, I normally would have gone with the bet size that you advocated, but
well, he out-leveled his opponent and just think, well, if I shove, I'm going to look like I got a heart draw. It's like, why would I shove top 2? And got a quick call from ace-10 suited. I would love to see him use his time bank. At least think about it a bit more.
Right. I mean, the issue with betting small is which bluffs do we want to do that with? I know that if we have a flush draw or if we have 7-8, for example, in that spot, we just want to go all in.
Right.
And that's what Thomas was trying to represent.
Correct. The reason I like betting a little bit smaller is that my opponent actually has these kind of hands a lot, and I don't want him to fold. If I shove all in, he's just going to fold his 8-high or his flush draws, and I want him to continue. So,
well, you don't necessarily want him to continue with an up-and-down straight draw when you bet super tiny, right? You got to charge his up-and-down straight draw still.
But I think there's a reasonable amount of chance that his opponent just might hero fold like weak ace there, or like has a draw.
Ace 5 or something.
It just seems like ace-queen just so strong there.
Yeah, I agree, but I think in order for you to bet that small on the turn, you'd want to have some bluffs where you're betting that small. I think that some bluffs that might make sense to bet that size would be Jack 10.
Yeah, gut shots like King Jack, 10 Jack that sometimes you do want to take the step because you can fold out hands like pocket 9s, pocket 8s.
I've had something.
Just depends on what you want to do.
Not necessarily.
Antonius
kind of spot
playing King Queen offsuit over to Paul Foy in the big blind. You gonna lay this down, Paul?
Yeah,
wow.
That's what I'm talking about.
Maybe, maybe Paul's just like, yeah, I don't want to mess with Antonius right now.
Big fold.
It is a big fold.
I had it.
Well, Antonius did have it, but he was behind. Of course, who's ahead or who's behind pre-flop doesn't matter that much, because Antonius, of course, can have position in the hand, but ace-deuce still a very tight fold out of the big blind.
Raise from there?
He's buying 3 times?
Bring 3 times?
Two.
No, this is the second time only.
Okay.
Yeah, just 2.
Just only start a few hours, 2-3 hours.
We started at around 3 something, I think.
3 something. But he played only very short, not more than 1 hour. She's the tournament fish.
Raise.
Raise 5,000.
So Rui Cow was the first elimination that I'm aware of. Showhopper the second.
Respect.
It is a re-entry tournament, unlimited, so they can get into this tournament again. Just need to find $1 million Hong Kong dollars somewhere.
Yep.
Oh, no cell phone.
If you switch off the sun, I'm gonna take it off.
Even on a TV table, man.
It's shining right into me. Let's see, let's try 1 round without, okay?
No, this is too strong with sunglasses raised on the bottom.
Chidwick here opening up his game, raising under the gun with 7-10 suited. Now we have Thomas with ace-9, who would have opened had it been folded to him. Now he's examining Chidwick's stack.
Feels like he wants to make a play at him.
I think he's going to fold.
Yeah. Before, I think the other day in the 6-max, he was 3-betting like ace-5 of clubs. 100%, right?
Right. And I like that ace-9's a little bit more dicey. There's Antonius just making the call out of the small blind. Young is going to make a pretty tight fold in the big blind, and these two players are going heads up. Antonius dominating Chidwick right now. And Antonius flopping another flush draw with hearts. He also has a gut shot.
It's hard to see Chidwick ever winning this hand. It's not really a great board to continuation bet either, so he does check it back. Turn to king. Antonius deciding whether he should check or bet himself. I think both options are pretty good. He's going to opt to bet.
Yeah, I think if I were in Antonius's shoes, I might go for a check raise.
I like to bet. You're going to get hands to fold that would just check back, like ace 10, you know, ace jack. So
yeah,
that's why he did pot size bet
betting
there.
makes sense. I don't think you'd get ace 10 or ace jack to fold, though.
For a pot size bet?
前鋒嚟陪馬雲呢邊啊？
Probably, right?
I don't think so.
你講下香港唔知搞咩活動18號。
Maybe other ace size.
Raise.
Raise 5,000. Call. Call. Fold. Triplers.
Three ways to the flop. Monotone board, all spades, no player with any spades. Richard Young has top pair, but on this board, it's a very dicey situation. After it checks through, though, and he gets a safe turn, I imagine we'll be seeing Young put some money in this pot here. He does lead out for 7,000. Wow, with bottom pair and a gut shot, makes the call here. Richard Young against Paul Foy, and an 8 on the river. That's the card that Paul Foy was looking for.
I'd like to see Paul bet here. Oh, half the pot. Try to get some crying calls. Yeah, he's going to go half the pot.
Bet 10,000.
A little bit less. 10,000.
Straight.
Makes a side call, and Paul Foy wins the pot. Paul Foy with 242 big blinds right now. All right, so we got a new player, Christian Christner.
First bullet.
On his first bullet.
Fresh face here at the Triton Poker. We didn't see him in either of the first two events. For those of you who are just tuning in, we're at the Maestral Resort and Casino in beautiful Montenegro. It's my first time in this country, really enjoying it. And you're watching the $1 million Hong Kong no limit hold'em main event here. We have all the best players from around the world flying in to compete in this event. It's not too often, Randy, that there's a $125,000 US buy-in event. So all the players taking advantage of that, coming on out to compete for the grand prize.
It's going to be a big one. Well, over to Antonius right now.
Bet 8,000. Fold.
And actually, when I did this, I saw there's a. I think there's a nail mark on this, but I'm not sure. But when I that lies, right?
Deck change, please.
Changing the deck, so go on a very, very short break.
But after I put it here for 5 seconds, I cannot have them here after that, right? Then.
Okay.
I'm glad Patrick is happy to show his cards.
Yes. Huh? Recount. Got in, play less than 1 level. Richard.
I do not know if Rui Cal has rebought yet.
Turn, drawing that, and got there on the river straight. Already pay out. Full house already, calling spread draw.
Alright, so, oh man, they changed the deck so fast. That was gonna take like 5 minutes.
They are ready to go.
Alright, so Christian Christner, the new player at the table, being first one to act.
Fold.
Folded around to Thomas in the small blind, Jack 3 offsuit. It's not a strong hand, but getting a good price in the small blind, he calls, and Foix just checks back his 8 deuce. 3, 6, 7. Foix with the 8 of spades for the flush draw.
Paul Foix, 8 deuce. I kind of want him to bet this flop. With his hand, he just can't show it down very well, but he's got a lot of equity in case he is behind, so he is going to bet.
3,000.
Tough spot for Thomas now. He has bottom pair, but it is a monotone board. It's just a half pot bet, so he goes ahead and calls. I think that's a close spot, actually.
I think blind versus blind seems quite mandatory to call. Otherwise, you're over-folding. So over to Paul Foix. Pairs is 2. I think he might actually check here, but I wouldn't fault him for betting and trying to move his opponent off of a 3.
Yeah, I'd like to see a check here as well.
But he's going to bet. Don't mind this bet at all. It's going to go about 8,000. Actually, just pressures the 3 very well. And Thomas, he does have the best hand. He's got a 70% chance to win this pot if he doesn't fold. But looking at the board, it looks quite dangerous for him. He doesn't even have a spade.
Yeah, I
Be a
can't
great
imagine.
call if he can do it.
Can't imagine Thomas is going to continue here.
But maybe he knows something about Paul. No, he's going to side fold here.
I think I saw your hand when you looked at your cards. So.
8 deuce.
Was it a flush? No, I guess not.
8 deuce with spade.
1.
Well, Paul is very happy to tell his opponents his
you
hands.
Do that when I'm in hand.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Randy, on those boards with like 3 spades, for example, on the board, on the flop, it's pretty difficult to navigate on future streets with hands that are just like bottom pair or middle pair. It's a lot easier if you have a hand, for example, like a gut shot plus a flush draw. You will actually see that these days, if you use solvers or poker snowy, that they actually are pretty tight with low pairs on boards like that.
Yeah, I don't doubt that it's hard to play the bottom pair, but it's a limp pot. Seems kind of mandatory to call flop bets one big blind.
Sure, yeah. In that instance, I like Thomas's flop call, but in general, it's fine to go ahead and fold bottom pairs depending on where your opponent had raised from and what their flop bet size was.
I think in that one it's a blind versus blind.
Right, yeah. On that one, I absolutely agree with it. Continue.
Raise.
Well, raise from Julian Thomas, ace-4 offsuit. Paul Flaw re-raises 10-8 suited.
16.
And from the small blind, it's going to get Christner to fold in. Julian Thomas of ace-4 offsuit. Very deep stack. They have like 180 big blinds. This is a terrible hand, ace-4. But maybe he thinks he can outplay Paul Flaw post-flop a bit. We've seen some of these German players try and do that, but it's just gonna
I'm
fold.
not winning hands when I don't wear my sunglasses. Can I put them back on?
Yeah, I think with ace-4 there, you either want to 4-bet or fold.
The next hand I play, if I lose it, I put it back on.
You can put it on. I was just asking.
But they forbid you to wear them, or what happened? No.
I
just play trick.
I haven't seen sunglasses on a TV table for a long time.
I took it off. I lost 3 hands since then.
Put it back. Put it back.
You saw something, but you didn't even look, so
Yeah,
that's something different.
I don't usually look at people. Don't. It's always the same. No tells.
That's all. No tells unless you tell. Or you show your cards. Yeah. Okay, this is the one.
This is not the one, Thomas. Wow, he is going to open it up.
Last chance without sunglasses.
Uncharacteristic of Thomas here to play kind of a loose hand here from the cutoff. Paul Flaw showing him some resistance here on the button with ace-8.
That's a fair chance.
I'm helping a little
Just
bit.
one opponent.
Well, Thomas flopping top pair, but it's a really dicey board here.
So we'll go check on the flop. I'd like to see him bet now, top pair. Really taking his time. So he's gonna bet about 10K. Trying to get value out of like Jack-9 type hands, King-Jack, 10-King, but Paul Flaw just has ace-8 high. Don't think he can continue here. Just really doesn't have much. Actually calls of ace-8 high. I think it's a bit loose. He's got 25% chance to hit the hand.
Yeah, it's a pretty loose call there on the turn by Flaw.
Just thinks his opponent has garbage. Thomas with top pair. I would like to see him bet again. Most of the time he just beats a lot of pairs, so he is going to fire a pot-sized bet. Exactly pot, almost. Paul Flaw. I mean, he puts Paul in like a jack or a 10, but Paul just has ace-8 high. And he's going to fold these cards.
Okay. No need to put sunglasses.
Yes!
Thomas continuing to chip up here. He has just shy of 400K now.
Younger man. Yes. You
It wasn't a bluff.
Oh.
It just looked like a bluff.
You
want more?
Sorry. Queen 6.
Queen 6. 6-4.
Big one.
Or 6-4, yeah. Ah, 6-4.
I forgot I have the ace of spade. Oh, I would have bet the flop. You make more.
Stephen Chidwick, Jack Queen raising it up.
Currently playing what, six-handed or is it eight-handed?
Six-handed.
Six-handed right now.
If I win one more, I put the jacket off.
It's almost like a funny form of strip poker going on. Kristner, ace-4 of diamonds, a hand we've seen players re-raise.
Yeah, this is a good 3-bet hand here.
Yeah, he's going to call though.
Wow, just a flat.
Certainly fine as long as you're not folding. Richard Young in the big blind, 7-8 offsuit.
We've seen him fold hands like this in his big blinds.
Yeah, I think sometimes he just doesn't feel like playing a pot.
4-4-6, and that's the flop that Kristner was looking for.
Richard Young actually picks up a piece, so I wouldn't be surprised he check calls the flop of his inside straight draw. Chidwick checks. Smart check. Over to Kristner. He's got trip 4s. Trying to decide what his opponent's has.
If you were Chidwick, might you have continuation bet this flop?
I definitely think it's fine to continuation bet this flop. I noticed that Chidwick does check a reasonable amount of spots where you might see someone continuation bet. So it must be he's got a game plan with his whole range.
Young does make the call. He could have raised this flop having defended the big blind. It's much more likely that he would have a 4 in his range than Kristner.
He turns a double gut shot. 5 or 9 would make a straight.
I wonder if we'll see Young check raise the turn.
I don't think so, the way Young plays. He just doesn't really play like that. It'd be quite an effective play because you're calling from the big blind. You represent a 4 pretty well. But I don't really expect Young to check raise. I'd like to see Kristner bet again. Maybe about half the pot, 15K. He might go, I notice a lot of these guys like to go large, trying to get like a lot of value, which is what's happening right now. But it's actually blocking your opponent from making moves against you.
Oh yeah, 30K is a large bet here on the turn. And now Young, who's up and down, there's
Maybe
no way he's going anywhere. The question is he going to call or raise?
He's actually going to raise.
Wow, look at this raise here by Young.
130,000.
Very aggressive play here, and I like this because it's pretty unlikely that Kristner
actually
would
has
have a 4.
Yep, because he flat called pre-flop. What hands flat called pre-flop that has a 4? Pocket 4s, ace 4 suited, 4-5, sometimes, not very often. Yep. So Young is representing the 4 very, very well, but his opponent is the one that has it.
Yeah, and now, unfortunately for Young, I believe Kristner is going to move all in for his remaining 84K on top, and Young is going to be priced into call.
Love to see him make a play soon. Doesn't really seem like he needs to waste a time bank on his hand.
All in.
So he's shoving all in.
He does move all in, and it's 84,000 more. He makes the call. Young looking for a 9 or a 5 going to the river to eliminate Kristner.
No way you win this, Christian.
There's a lot of big blinds in here.
I guess.
Richard Young needs to hit a 9 or a 5. River's a king.
River guard is a king. That's a safe card for Kristner. He doubles up against Richard Young.
Very nice play. Well, I just won 16 big blinds. A misstep for Richard Young. Very credible play, but sometimes your opponent just has it.
Red color. Okay, 2.
Sorry, how much is that? I think that's
1,050. 150, 200. Yeah, 200, 5,000. This is 50,000. 100, 150, 200, 210.
Welcome. put them in.
No, it's here.
I said all in, so.
200 and...
I would like. I wonder.
Player struggling to get a
chip
accurate count here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Paul Flaw knows how to get it done.
Plus one big pot.
Yep.
21萬
If you want, you can have.
4,300喂，俾錢啊喂
Okay.
Pay the chips. That's what Paul Flaw said.
Okay.
Pay the man his chips.
Just 700 back. Plus 700 down.
Dealer seems a little bit confused.
Okay, that's right.
No worries. And where's the tip?
And now all of a sudden, Krishner, he bought in late, and now he's one of the big stacks in this tournament here.
Give me one. This. One.
Christian Krishner.
Thank you.
Sounds kind of like Chris Christie. A lot of Chris's in that name.
Why doesn't the big blind just answer the button or something?
That's a good question.
Well, it's how we do it here.
You wait.
How did you do yesterday?
Well, I was winning a lot. And then I decided I wanted to play bigger for myself. So
Got greedy.
I just started losing every single pot.
There is Daniel Jungleman Cates.
So I won, but I lost.
So
My shareholders won, but I lost.
Familiar face of Triton Poker. He
Genius.
took second place to Phil Ivey in the
Wow, you cut somebody off
opening
when you were your pick.
short deck
Not cut someone
event.
off, I reduced someone.
2 years ago, he won this event here.
Well, actually, yeah, basically, that's basically what happened.
So Daniel Cates talking about his cash games on the side. He didn't quite catch that. He's saying
Played a
that
nice game.
he won chips, he won
Relaxed,
money,
lot of gamble.
played bigger percentage of himself, and then lost money. So it didn't end up too well for him. But he's at our feature table. Jungle Man, one of the best players I've ever played against and just ever seen. He got second place in a short deck event, lost to Phil Ivey heads up in that event. Turn is an ace.
This one you want to use one?
So River is a jack. Chidwick, River's
What
two
do you
pair.
think about ante just on the button or the big blind? Why not do that?
Ante?
Well, instead of collecting the antes from everyone,
Yeah.
if we just collect it from one person and it's the same amount, it's a lot faster, I think.
Yeah, maybe next time.
Jungle Man
The
telling
same, I know, the same.
Richard Young that, hey, maybe you guys can do a big blind ante format. And very popular these days.
It's been gaining popularity, and this year, in fact, at the World Series of Poker, many of the events are going to go ahead and try that format.
One more guy on the button, whether he put or not.
And then no antes. Every time someone busts when they're in the blinds, you play a hand with the dead button.
Okay, I understand that's why. But otherwise would be better on the button, right?
Stephen Chidwick pointing out, don't do a button ante because sometimes a player will bust out and there will be no button ante. So actually a big blind ante is better.
Let's go.
And I forgot to tweet. I'm going to tweet after I bust in two hands.
Jungle Man and flying. He's going to play a big pot. So he can tweet that he's been playing. With 0 chips, we'll see if that actually happens.
Four, five.
Richard Young raising Queen 8 offsuit on the button. Chidwick folds. Thomas gonna defend a 9-5 of diamonds.
Cool.
Well, Jungle, before yesterday, earlier you make a lot one, is it?
Hmm?
Earlier you make a lot, is it?
Yeah, I run good this trip. I'm good in general lately.
Fine.
Richard Young
I run
bets the
so
flop.
good that on a weird website I was playing on a Bitcoin site, it was like 100K deep. I got disconnected in the middle of the hand, and it turns out I had like the second nuts versus the third nuts versus the second nuts. So I lost like 10 Bitcoins or something this hand.
Wow.
Yeah, so Jungle
Never
Man's
regained the connection. How did you find out the hands?
Well, actually, the site shut down. The site actually shut down, and they showed me that actually the guy turned top set. Or like something, it was like set over set in some stupid spot.
How can they shut down in the middle of the hand?
Yeah, it was super weird.
Yes, sounds awful actually.
Awesome.
But just good to know that Jungle Man is running good.
Maybe your guy shut down for you.
Maybe what?
Your guy, your IT.
Yeah.
Jungle Beater, shut down.
Yeah. They don't like that. You have a good
No flush.
good account for sure, man.
Hey, 5 pay win anyway. Okay.
I love
Superstars, they don't
seeing
have a good account.
Okay.
Jungle Man at the table because they always love to talk to him.
Yeah.
He's always got something to say.
PokerStars?
Yeah.
I don't know who wins on PokerStars.
I don't know either. You like short decks better than full?
No, sure. You like short deck or full deck?
Maybe I should.
Maybe I should.
I never played one hand, but I already like this game since I watched it one time on the stream.
Probably one more at it in a shorter time. I won a lot at it.
Already.
There's a table for beginners.
Maybe not.
I think Patrick said he didn't like short deck. Is that what he said?
No, he said he did. He said
he did like it.
He hasn't played a hand, but he said he watched the stream and liked what it was about. You can play a lot of hands. That's Patrick's style.
Yep. Patrick with 10-8 of hearts right now. He's going to raise it up to 4,500. He's been doing very good in the tournament scene lately. We'll see if he can pick up another score in this tournament. Paul Fall, pocket 3 is going to see a flop.
When sticks break?
17
Flash
minutes.
again. So many flash.
Both players flop
70 minutes.
nothing.
Dinner.
17 to 1 to flop a flash.
Whoever bets the flop's going to win this pot, but they both check.
Paul offer.
Paul checks.
Discount. Get the champion.
Check again.
How many entry
River.
plus 2?
Is a
Discount
deuce.
champion.
Both players still have absolutely
How many
nothing. If
entry
someone
plus
bets,
two?
they're going to win this
If
pot.
40 entry, then you give it another 2 million, 42 million.
Oh, really?
And Paul Fall is going to take a stab at this, and he's going to win.
Oh, okay.
Plus 2.
Okay.
I like this bet.
You think good?
You get a lot of better hands to fold. 6,000.
For players.
I mean, Patrick, if he wants to win this pot, he needs to raise, but he's going to let this one go.
That's a royal flush.
Just now,
Check 10 of spades.
just now, under the
Looking at
gun,
his
4 raise,
2 threes.
3 bet raise, I 4 bet him,
Yeah.
he call. Then flop out, king,
You pretended to.
king 8-6.
Yeah.
I bet
Trap check, trap check, bet.
3/4 bet, I think 50,000 something a bet. It calls. Then come out the, a river come out the 8,
An 8?
8,
Okay.
4, 6, 8, 4, 6, 4. Already pocket 8, 8, 8, 6.
Yeah.
King.
Okay.
I bet a bit with the, also not a lot, and it call. Then river come
7.
7.
Yeah.
Yep.
I shot all in.
Always
He
7.
snap call.
Talking about how Rui Cal busted this tournament with
What do you guys have?
I the
5-4.
pocket king.
Oh.
He 4-5.
Can Rui Cal still get needled, even he's not even at the table.
Raise.
So Richard Young
Get
raises
business for you guys. Give him
King
good
Jack
payout.
offsuit.
Bye.
He told me a hand. Fuck, I forgot the hand, but in the main event where he busted, he ended up like, this guy like called him 2 streets with like jack high, and then Rui Cal over at the river. The guy was out of position. The guy rivers like a pair and calls like a 2.5 times pot river bet with a pair and wins.
Sounds like Rui Cal is always bluffing, guys.
What, he pulled out of position with...
No, the guy he was playing against like calls Rui Cal out of position with nothing, with not even like a hand that would go in at showdown.
But how about the turn?
On the turn, he calls again. He just
with
calls,
nothing, out of position.
Or something?
just like stone nothing, and like Rui Cal obviously makes a massive shove on the river, and the guy calls him after he rivers a pair or something.
Short deck or full deck?
Full deck. Full deck.
Jack high good?
I don't think so.
With queen high.
I would
not sure about that
love
part.
to see Rui Cal rebuy.
I don't know the exact hand, but maybe Rui remembers.
Well, look at this hand. Julian Thomas flops bottom
It's
2
the
pair,
only play
raises the flop.
It's like a weird play when you just call out
Gong
of
making the
position
call.
on
This
the
looks
turn,
like a short
comes
deck hand
blank,
to me.
And then you shove the river. It's like I never done that in my life.
So Richard Young checks now. He was the pre-flop raiser. Thomas is on the button.
Just shove it.
Young bets 5,000, got raised to 15,000. Now Thomas going for some value, betting about 40,000 looks like. Pot size bet. He really like to bet these really big ones.
So if he would have missed, he would have probably.
I can't imagine that Richard Young is going to be able to continue here.
But he's going to make the call. He's got a lot of. He thinks he's got a lot of outs. So.
Call.
Wow.
So it's paying off.
Yeah, well, he does have 36% equity going to the river.
He's got a lot of equity.
Deuce to 7, padded out of position, hoping that they draw.
That is not one of his outs.
If they draw.
He's going to check, and I think Thomas is going to shove here.
I've done it twice ever. 2, maybe 3 times.
He actually isn't representing many bluffs,
I think it worked,
so I think Richard Young might be able to find a fold here.
Right.
What bluffs do you have when someone bets
sure.
into you, you raise them on King, Queen, 10 rainbow?
I'm not sure I'm too happy to shove here if I'm Thomas.
I think he's going to. I mean, he did do a pot-sized bet on the turn.
Yeah, I might bet like 28K or something.
Oh, you thinking that one pair might not call you if you shove?
Play a bunch of weird games.
Yeah,
maybe he's going to do like a 40K bet.
Well, he does go all in.
So he's putting his opponent on ace, king.
One draw or double draw?
Aces. He does call.
Wow, Richard Young makes a call, and he'll get the bad news here.
Every kind of draw
Thomas had flopped 2 pair.
So Richard Young is out, eliminated. He's going to need to put another $1 million Hong Kong to get back in this event. Things a little bit loose. Maybe just like, well, I can rebuy.
Richard Thomas is on fire here.
Julian Thomas, yeah.
Or Julian Thomas, sorry.
If you rebuy, your this thing can use keep. You have 6 if you rebuy.
I think he almost got some fake information. Richard Young. Well, so do you get 6 if you actually get to keep them? I'm not sure if it's true. I'm kind of curious myself.
So if we rebuy, we have 3, we have 6. Why not? At least 2 million for 6.
No, that would be a strange rule.
Yeah.
I can kind of get behind it though. You can kind of see like, well, you put in double the amount of money.
Are we not? No, 5,000.
No.
Everyone's having a good time at this table.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Kate's almost made a mistake there and raised 25,000.
I guess we're gonna play.
Handcuffs. Can you give me 1K?
Tonius said, I guess I'm going to play before he even sees his cards.
Yeah.
Now he's heads up against Case.
Running out of 500s. Yeah, 500.
Turn is a deuce. should go check. Is Kate's gonna fire now? He could do a delay bet. I think it's a pretty good one. 8,000. And Antonius lays down the best hand.
Can make it 30,000. Make bet 120,000 on the river.
You call the turn? Really? Fair raise?
Probably not. How big are you raising?
What happened? You beat Richard the hand? How the hand goes?
2 pair here, top pair.
I know. Pre-flop.
Oh, raise call.
Then you
Made
bet
it
flop.
50,000. I
Bet I raise because
Daniel Jungleman Cates, 128 big blinds.
not much left.
He might have just bought in, actually.
It's about 100,000.
I had to, maybe, but maybe.
Julian Thomas
I
actually
was
got
having
maximum
a
value of his bottom 2 pair on that board. Very well played. So King 3 diamonds now. He's gonna let it go. Playing very well. Paul Fwab, 9-8 offsuit. He's gonna open this one up.
Press.
Raise 5,000.
Takes it 5,000. And Kristner, Jack 6 of diamonds. He's gonna let it go. Over to Daniel Cates in the big blind. Jungle Man. See a flop.
Queen deuce.
If I had queen deuce, I'd at least call it.
And Daniel Cates flops. Ace high with a 9 high flush draw.
How many you do? 10 hand, 6 hand flush. Flop the flush.
Paul Fwab likes to talk about
That
how
whole deck is a game of flushes.
someone can flop a flush so
14 to 1,
easily.
you can bet.
So he checks
Short
it back
deck
and
is a
turns 2
game
pair.
of straights.
Flop the flush, 16 to 1.
Jungle Man has mid pair with a 9 high flush draw.
16 to 1 is a
check.
terrible price, isn't it?
And Paul Fwab is going to bet about 75% of the pot.
16.4, the correct price.
I don't know. I thought it was like closer to 20 or something.
So he's going to bet about 9,000.
Oh, but
And
Tom's
Jungle Man
payout
calls.
is like royal flush, you get 29 to 1.
There was a
Trips, you
5.
get, I don't know, 29 to 1. You check?
Yeah, check.
Over to Paul Fwab. Got 2 pair. He's going to bet. I think he's going to bet about 20,000. Maybe 22,000. Trying to get called by some 10s. He's going to grab 22,000. Right on the dot. I think
You've been calling those bet sizes pretty well,
he
Randy.
did say 16. I thought he grabbed 4 yellows. Either way, he should. It's a good bet. Sizing roughly about half pot. And it's going to get side called by. No.
Jungle Man likes this move.
Yeah, he calls.
He does call.
Jungle Man with the bad language again.
Hey, give me the money.
That's why it's fun to watch Jungle Man. You know, a lot of players, poker players, try to hold in their emotions. They try to kind of always be stoic, not let what's happening at the table change the way they're feeling. Jungle Man, you know exactly how he's feeling at every point in time.
Paul Fwab, 508,000 chips, doing very well. Double starting stack. Live from the Maestro Resort and Casino in Montenegro. We have a 30-minute delay. After this level, we will go on a dinner break. Lines are 1,000, 2,000 with 300 ante. Stephen Chidwick is the short stack of the table, but he still has 175,000. Not doing poorly at all. Patrick Antonius just got to his table recently. Chipped up a little bit. Paul Fwab, pocket 7s. He's going to raise it up. Jungle Man is going to re-raise.
There he comes. Those ace wheel suiteds.
How much?
21,000.
Paul Fwab is going to try and set mine against Daniel Cates right now.
Heads up.
Flops. Wow, Jungleman's in trouble.
Wow.
Flops full house.
That is an action flop.
Jungleman bets 15,000. Paul should just call here.
Yeah,
Don't let your opponent off the hook.
I'm really hoping I see a call.
He's gonna make the
don't bluff.
Jungleman don't bluff. He wants him to bluff. Turn is a jack. It's actually a great card from the multi-barrel with. It makes some hands scared on the turn. He's gonna fire again. He's gonna put in about, what, 50K?
Yeah, Jungleman not heeding the advice to not bluff.
55,000 for Jungleman, and Paul Fall is gonna call here again. He's got a full house already. Paul looking a little bit confused.
Paul, a little bit of Hollywood here.
I like it. Trying to give the illusion that Jungleman is weak right now. So make the call.
Jungleman, don't bluff.
Jungleman, don't bluff. Jungleman might bluff.
River card is a 5. I think Jungleman's probably going to bluff.
He's gonna, if he bluffs, he's gonna bet all of it. He can try. He could represent aces very credibly. It's not gonna work. Oh, he checks.
Oh, he does check. He thinks better of it.
All in.
Jungleman here. Ace 4 high.
This doesn't make me happy. maybe I shouldn't fold.
You hit a 5.
How much is it?
All in yours. No need to count.
Got some combos.
Cover you 3 times over.
Cover you 3 times over.
Oh.
Richard has 3. You can.
Jungleman using a time chip here. Is he really thinking about calling?
Well, he does beat
I owe in him. He thinking.
all of the
Do you have to throw?
draws. He beats like flush draws. 10-9 of clubs, 10-8 of clubs, king-queen of clubs. There's actually a lot of hands he beats. Most hands at river are pair if he's got a club draw. If Paul has like 5-6 of clubs, he'll just check back to river. So he's really thinking about it. It's a huge pot. He would be wrong if he makes this hero call. Jungleman likes to make big calls. We need to use some history to kind of figure this out.
Go did the rebuy.
Yeah, I think
I'm steaming it. Really
if
doesn't.
Paul ever
For some
flats
reason why I
premium
think you don't
hands,
have
then
it, but-
Jungleman absolutely has to fold.
He 3-bet
Yep,
me.
if.
He flop. Then he bet and check
Paul's
river.
telling everybody what the action is.
Good.
Usually when I talk so much, I have a big head. Younger.
Whatever. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, just folds.
Jungleman does think better of it. He makes the right fold.
You did? Yes.
Let me see.
I don't show you now. You see half an hour later.
Paul actually won a lot there.
Yeah, that was a huge pot.
Ace high.
I run so good. Pocket 7.
Really?
You can see half an hour
I
later.
got lucky
Why?
that hand.
Shit you. Why
I
I
had a
lie to
flush
you?
draw. I wanted to call river.
Jungleman lost 40% of his stack right
Being
there.
a friend, I was asking you not to waste your money and bluff it all.
Very nice of you.
Do you have
But
to?
you didn't listen
You have to throw
on the
this in or
turn.
no?
You can throw it in.
What do you want me to do? Yeah.
Yeah, flush draw.
Basically, I'm not gonna bother
flush draw?
you in the
Yeah.
Why didn't
After
you
the
get
hand,
there?
right?
after the hand, I'll bother you.
Always flushes there, but not this time.
7-7. Oh,
Oh yes.
you always run so good.
Yeah, I ran good that hand. Fuck.
Why did you barrel the river?
You had flush draw. I didn't think you fold.
Over to Paul Flaw, he folds. Christian Christner of King 6 offsuit.
We're trying to play good.
Yeah, very chatty table, very
unlucky.
splashy table too. I love it.
Raise 5,000.
Antonius makes the raise. Jungleman makes the call.
Man is fly of club.
Fold.
Hit the 5.
Very close to that hand.
So what? Yeah, 125, 130.
Adds up.
130.
What do you start with? 250K or something?
Yeah,
We started with 250.
Jungle Man flops middle pair and a flush draw, just bottom pair and a gut shot for Antonius.
So check from Antonius. Playing a little bit slow.
Last hand, is it?
Yeah, I think he's going for a check call here.
So this is the last hand before the dinner break.
Bet 4,000.
Bet from
Small bet by Jungle Man.
Super. We're going to see Patrick check call here.
Call.
Turn is an 8.
Wow, Patrick hits 2 pair on the turn and he takes the lead in the hand.
Jungle Man still has a pair and a flush draw. Sometimes a 10 will roll off and they will check. They will chop.
I think we're going to see Jungle Man continue to bet here.
No, I like to check. I think he's got to be worried about a 10 a decent amount. It's going to be a 90-minute dinner break, just to let you guys know.
All right, to the players, you can go to Jade Restaurant.
Dinner on Rui Cow.
Dinner on Rui Cow. Still needling Rui. All right, so Antonius checks, and Jungle Man probably needs to check here because he's probably assumed to bet a 10 on the turn a lot, so he's not representing it very well. Actually, he's going to bet. Seems slightly ambitious.
Bet 16,500.
Yeah, it is an ambitious bet. I can't imagine Antonius is going to fold. I'm not really sure.
Antonius is really good at sniffing out bluffs.
Right. I think Jungle Man is thinking here, if Antonius has a jack.
I think he's thinking Antonius would lead a 10 on the river. So he knows he doesn't have a 10.
Right. And also, this is probably one of the worst hands that Jungle Man plays like this that he's going to end up at the river with. Of course,
yeah.
he could just have a bare flush draw. Yeah, Antonius makes a call.
Nice call by Antonius. Always sniffed out every single bluff. So, okay, guys, we are going to go on a 90-minute dinner break. We're going to have an interview with Patrick Antonius. So watch that, and then we will go on a 90-minute dinner break. Nice pot from Patrick. Very great table here. Play will resume in 90 minutes. But